Hello, Trekkies and Trekkers. Welcome back to this Star Trek podcast. I am your host, Orinda, and I will recap at the moment episodes of Star Trek The Next Generation. Today we recap the episode The Loss. And today I will do the recap alone because none of my Trek friends were available. I would appreciate it if you like this video, comment on the episode, subscribe to the channel and share it with your friends and family. And now for the plot of the episode. Traveling through deep space, the Enterprise stops to investigate an old phenomenon of phantom sensor readings. Meanwhile, ship's counselor Deanna Troi experiences pain and loses consciousness as her empathic abilities suddenly cease to work. The crew discovered they cannot resume course, and the Enterprise is caught up in a group of two-dimensional life forms. Without her powers, Troi suffers a tremendous sense of loss and goes through several classic psychological stages, including denial, fear, and anger. Ultimately, despite the reassurance of her friends, she resigned as ship's counselor, believing that without her empathic abilities, she cannot perform her duties. Commander Data and Commander Riker determine that the two-dimensional creatures are heading for a cosmic string, with the Enterprise in tow, and that once they reach the string, the ship will be torn apart. Realizing that Troi's loss and the ship's predicament are somehow linked, Captain Picard pleads with her to try and communicate with the strange creatures. After attempting to warn the creatures of the danger posed by the cosmic string, Troi posits that they are seeking out the cosmic string in much the way a moth is drawn to a flame. Working from the hypothesis, Data simulates the vibration of a cosmic string, using the deflector dish as a position well behind the Enterprise. The simulation eventually caused the creatures to briefly reverse their course, breaking their moment long enough to allow the Enterprise to break free. Freed from the two-dimensional creatures, influence Troi's empathic abilities is restored. She discovers that her powers were never lost, but were instead overwhelmed by the two-dimensional creatures. Strong emotions. Troi returns to her old job with a renewed confidence. So I am going to rewatch this episode. I hope you guys are going to do that too, so we can talk and discuss it on the social media, so on YouTube and on the Facebook group. Yeah, let's see what it brings us. So welcome back, everyone. First of all, there was a little panic because Netflix was this bright that they're gonna put all the Star Trek series and every Star Trek movie off Netflix, so I had to dig everything up out of the dust. well, 10 or 12 hours later it was back on, so I can resume it easily from Netflix. So, the recap of the loss. So the first scene is Deanna Troi is talking to this lady, and this lady lost her husband 6 months ago, and it was his birthday, and she talks about loss that she needs to. It is paired with hurt and loss, etc. And the weird thing is, she is going to experience this in a very, very heavy thing in this whole episode. What I do think, and maybe Marina had to play it like this, she, as a counselor, I find her a bit cold and not really responsive. She blocks all emotion off. After a little talk, the lady is she is sad because she told some of her colleagues, just get everything from my husband away. I don't want to think about it. I have to go along now, and I can't be remembered of my husband while his things are here. And she regretted that, because she does want something that belongs to her husband. And so Troi walks up to this cupboard and take this little music box out. And when she opened it, it was the song that they loved, and it is the music box of her husband. And that was the moment that the lady could cry. And then we see also that Troi could show a bit more emotion. So Picard and Riker are coming on the bridge, and Picard is telling, well, Riker, you need to have some fresh air. Come and join me horse riding in the Himalaya. And, well, Riker says, well, sorry, sir, but I haven't ride for a long time. I don't think that's a good idea. So, because, well, we can program the horses like an easy one for you. Then Worf said, there was something there, Captain, and Picard said, what is it? And Worf said, I don't know, it's gone now. And at that moment, Deanna had some kind of a fade out. And it's the start of her losing abilities. And I must say, I know what that is. I have it sometimes myself. But for an empath, that's really, really scary, because you don't have your ability. And so to feel what somebody feels, or pick up what the mood or the energy from that person is, that's very scary, not if you can do that. And I have learned to live with it, and sometimes it overwhelms me. You don't want to know, but okay, I can understand where Diana is coming from. On the bridge, they can't get readings in the way of that. It is there, and then it disappeared. And we see that Troi is in a lot of pain. And it looks like if somebody is drilling in her ear to her brains. That's how it looks like. And probably feels like. So they run those diagnoses and they can't find anything. So Picard said, okay, resume course, and we will be there in, Data says, we will be there in 6 days, 13 hours, so many minutes. And so Riker reacts a bit of surprise, like, what? No seconds? And Data, like an innocent child, again, says, well, I noticed this and that, and people don't like that if I calculate it to the seconds. But if you want to, sir, of course, Riker said, no, minutes is fine, go ahead. Resume what you're doing, you know? When Picard said engage, the ship was, well, shocked all over, and it was like, it's like that, or they have been attacked, or they have come to a abrupt stop, and something strange is happening. So they come to a halt or stop, I say it like that, and they have no idea what's happening. And then something is pulling the Enterprise. What it is, they don't know, and they are going to explore what the hell it is. Meanwhile, Troi is in very, very, very much pain. And eventually she contacted Dr. Crusher. And Dr. Crusher said, well, I'm getting calls all over the ship, so I will be there right as soon as I can. Which in one thing is a bit weird to say that you call, because you would have to take it differently, say it differently, because it is this 25th century ship or 21st century ship, and so you won't call somebody, but sorry. It is a weird thought that I have right now, but you probably know what I mean. It's a bit weird to call instead of calling somebody through a communicator that call it differently. And I don't know if they did that on purpose, but yeah, we'll see. The Enterprise is trying to break free. What force is pulling them? And it is super weird because all the functions are normal. Warp is normal, etc., etc. But nothing happened. So, what is going on here? Crusher is with Troi, and she is checking her out, and then they get this call that they have to come up to the observation lounge. They say observation lounge, and of course we are in season 4 now, but didn't they originally call it the reading room, or is Picard's office the reading room? But okay, never mind. So they're gonna walk to the observation lounge, and once again Troi is fading out, and it is, you could clearly see there's something wrong with her, but we are at the point now that she is denying it to everyone. In the meeting, Picard asked Troi if she can sense anything, and she is completely blank. And that's where the panic starts. When Riker just wants to talk to her, she is flipping. And I can understand that, totally understand that. And what she said, people are treating you differently when you're, quote unquote, are sick. And of course, Riker just wants to help her and be a good listener, etc. And she totally flips on him. Meanwhile, Data and Jodie are trying to figure out what the hell is going on. Because this is all against the physical law. How can they move if they are stopped? So it is still a very mysterious thing that is happening. Then they find something. And it is something they never have seen before. And although Jodie tells that it's something looks like scuba diving in Braccas 5. And I think it looks like a star haven, that starway, not a Milky Way, but starway that is surrounding them and pulling them. Then we see Counselor Troi talking to the lady again. And that lady is reborn. She is coping with the loss of her husband. And then Troi shares that she is temporarily lost her empathic abilities. And that must be very strange, but also very scary for the lady, because, and of course for Troi, because this is something very personal. So they have another meeting, and Jodie and Data are showing what their findings are. And Jodie made a comment about something in the terms of it's a pity that we can't sense them or know what they're feeling or know what they want. And that triggered Troi, and she became mad. And then she went to Crusher in sickbay, and once again she asked for tasks. And she really didn't understand why people couldn't live like they can't sense someone's energy or the mood or whatever. That makes her very frightened. When Deanna is in her quarters, she got the insight that she was denying it all, like the lady that lost her husband. So she told Picard about it and said, I have to resign, I can't do my job. That is something Picard doesn't want to hear. And although Crusher shot, you will get used to it. It's like, yeah, normal for human beings. And at that point, of course, she became mad again. I said, you have no idea what it is to lose something that you had that was a quality, and now you can't use it because it is gone. You know, when she talks to Picard, it gives already a bit for in the future when Picard went to her home in, what was it? I can't remember the name now. But it was a Star Trek Picard 3. She has this calm voice now. But of course, her voice is mostly calm. But I mean, like, it is typical how we know Deanna. And her power to stay calm and be this calm voice in all the chaos. That's just how she talks now. Like that. Riker comes to Deanna and she is walking up and down and she's on the breaking point. So the first thing Riker did is give her a hug, which she obviously needs because she started crying. And probably crying because she's lost. She has no idea what to do, no idea what's coming. So they had this little talk, and Riker makes a little joke of, well, you don't know how far a hug or cuddle will go with Worf. What remind me exactly again when he and Jotsia did some things. And they had to go to Julian for, well, healing. But it's completely normal how she reacts. And I would have the same. And every other of you will have the same as in, okay, what the hell's going on? And yeah, we see that she is trying to cope, but so she is unbalanced. Now she is at that point of a breaking point, and it's like you fall down from something, and you have to build yourself up again. Or like a muscle, to get strong, you have to work out on that muscle. The emotions where Deanna's going through now, it's very, I think it's very normal, because she's not in denial now, but she doesn't want everyone reminds her that her abilities are gone. So now she is sad and afraid what's coming. And not only that, it's also like she blames everyone around her, especially Will at the moment. Poor guy. For once in my life I'm thinking it's Riker that is sad for Riker. But okay. So it's the point now that she had to try to cope with it, and with that thought that she doesn't have her abilities, that makes her very scared. And in one way, you could say it's normal for us, and that's why Picard wanted to tell her too. Most of the captains have a human captain a human counselor that doesn't have her abilities. So, Riker, and that was a shocker, Riker came back to her with the point of, so that's all about it now. We are equal. You always had this privilege to feel and know what somebody is feeling. And now you can't. Now we are equal. So it seems that you don't like your human side. And I think that is something she is going to think of and about, of course, what's happening now. The Enterprise is breaking free for a moment. Picard tells Data, go do something with it. Maybe we can communicate with them. And then we go to 10 forward and we see Deanna all alone, sitting alone. And Guinan joins her. And she does have... I must say, I'm not a fan of Guinan. I'm not a fan of Whoopi Goldberg. Because she has said things and done things that, I didn't like. Actually, a bit too much. But her as Guinan, I loved it. So Guinan is bringing her some more tea, and she said, well, can you get used to it already? And Deanna is lying, and it's now the other way around, you know. Guinan is being the counselor, but she is putting oil on the fire. And with that, she said, okay, and Troi makes the remark of, okay, you could be a very good counselor. And to Diana's horror, Guinan said, yeah, I think so too, so I'm going to talk with Captain Picard. And I think that is the moment that Diana got fired up. Because, in fact, she doesn't want someone else to become her replacement. They are at this point now that they see where the two-dimensional beings pull them to, and it's like a string frequency in space. And so Worf, of course, comes down with a Klingon solution. And he said, well, let's get a photon torpedo into it so we can save ourselves. And what made me laugh in a way, because it is Worf who we're talking about. So, Captain Picard is in mind that they can do it in another way. They're firing this sequence of torpedoes, and this has no effect. It's still the same, and the field is still intact. Counselor Troi is packing her things. Well, it's a bit weird, but then that lady came in and she told Troi that she helped her without her empathic abilities. And it is very, very weird for Troi, of course, but I think it's maybe the point now that she can have a bit hope that she also can be a ship's counselor without her abilities. After all things being tried out to communicate with the aliens, Picard asked Diana to do it. And you could see that she was not happy and even afraid. And she even tells Picard, why do you think I can help? Because I am nothing with my empathic abilities. And well, she still has to help Data. Maybe to find a way to communicate. And to warn them what they are doing to getting closer to the string fragments. So, Diana is going to Data, and while talking, she is looking to her own emotions and feelings. Then she comes up. She reacts instantly. And they have this little beautiful conversation about being human. And we see Data making clear to Counselor Troi that that's the most beautiful thing. And so they talk, and then there was a theory and maybe a solution. And without her abilities, she solved this as a puzzle, like a puzzle. And I think that gave her hope. So they're going to have the same frequency as the string. And it was a bit of a dangerous situation, also they thought. And so they could pull out in a fraction of a second, and it was okay. And at that moment, Counselor Troi got her abilities back, and she told the crew, bridge crew, it's okay, I'm okay, and they're okay too. The string field is their home, and the Enterprise never has been in danger. It's just only like a vehicle that moved to there from place A to B. So everyone is happy that Counselor Troi is back in business, and they are sitting in 10 forward, and she was talking to Riker and Guinan and Beverly, and she wanted to apologize to Beverly, and Beverly already knew. So she said, apology accepted, and therapists and doctors are the worst patient. What is true? So then Guinan came sit with them, and yeah, you can see that Troi was very embarrassed how she behaved. But, guys, in one way it is very logical. Because I think everyone would react like that. And it is not easy to be a ship's counselor with so many people around. You're the one who is empath. Can't feel everything and what everyone is thinking or feeling. Trust me, I am a sensitive person. I have been doing this my whole life. And when I am in a group, trust me, it is not fun for me. It is really, really, chaotic at best. So I could totally relate to her, what she's going through. So this is also the end of the episode. And the Enterprise is getting back on course. And, I think it was a nice episode. If I'm taking a look at the rating on IMDb, people give for this episode a 6. I do think it's a little bit better and deserve a little bit better than 6. So I will give it a 7, maybe a 7.5. Because I really could relate to it. And the other thing is that, yes, we don't have that much Counselor Troi's episodes. And to see her emotions, her feelings, and of course the bond that she has with Riker, I think it was an okayish episode. So thank you guys for listening, and I will be back soon with another recap episode. In the next episode we will recap the episode Data's Day. And for this episode I am still looking for a Trek friend who likes to join me for this recap. If you are interested, then let me know. Checking around is to listen on Anchors, Spotify, Amazon Music, on the Facebook group and the YouTube channel. I also like to remind you that I still have 2 other podcasts with Trek episodes. They're called The Dutch Ready Room and Orinda Talks. The Dutch Ready Room is a Dutch Trek podcast, and Orinda Talks is a half all geek podcast that covers from books to movies and series to video games. Although I don't make episodes anymore for these podcasts, you still can listen and comment on the episodes on the YouTube channel and Facebook group. I will see you next time. Live long and prosper.